Good evening. Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Once said by Rumi. Welcome to BMC News Live presented by Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers English News. Myself Shana Sultana joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines.
Riders land in trouble after donkey race on public road. Bahrain today marks World Asthma Day. Umrah season for foreign pilgrims ends on May 31st, Saudi Arabia announced. UAE announced that central banks increases its interest rates. Oman imposes fine of 100 OMR for littering.
Today's news in detail. A number of riders featured in a viral donkey racing video have been arrested, the General Directorate of Traffic said yesterday. The 1,000-meter asphalt race organized on Wednesday by a local donkey racing collective was held on the busy Sheikh Khalifa bin Salman highway, it has been revealed. Parliament Speaker Fauzia Zainal and Shura Council Chairman Ali Saleh Al Saleh made the statement marking the royal order bringing to a close the fourth session of the fifth legislative term. Ms. Zainal commended the support of the government shared by His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, during the fourth session. Members of political societies could be prohibited from board membership in youth and sports federations, associations, clubs and establishments. The Shura Council is set to debate and vote on government-drafted amendments to the 1989 Social, Cultural, Sports and Youth Clubs, Organizations and Societies Law during its final session of the fourth-year term on Sunday. Al Hilal Hospitals and Medical Centers Bahrain's COVID update.
COVID updates brought to you by Al Hilal Hospital and Medical Centers.
New integrated and comprehensive sewage treatment projects are on the way in Bahrain as the country seeks to be 100% connected over the next 4 years. Works, Municipalities Affairs and Urban Planning Minister Mr. Issam Khalaf said in a written reply to a question by Shura Council member Sheikh Jawad Hussain that Bahrain has achieved more than 87% connection rate within urbanized areas until the end of last year. Bahrain's most popular beauty pageant will be held later this month. It was announced yesterday. The Indian club Makewen is one of the most prestigious events in the Kingdom of Bahrain and has held regularly for the past over 3 decades, it has been revealed. Bahrain's ambassador to Italy, Dr. Nasser Mohammed Al-Balushi, delivered a lecture entitled Italy and the Gulf Cooperation Council with a focus on Bahrain at the invitation of Nova Millennium Foundation Secretary General Professor Marcello Prasisi. He stressed keenness of Bahrain and the GCC to strengthen the political and economic partnership with Italy and EU countries, that is European countries, in a way that serves the interest of people in consolidating tolerance and coexistence between cultures. The foreign minister yesterday received This is Bahrain Society President Betsy Matthewson and reviewed joint efforts to highlight Bahrain's pioneering achievements as a model of tolerance, peaceful coexistence and dialogue among religions, cultures and civilizations. They also discussed ways to develop aspects of fruitful cooperation and coordination in spreading a culture of peace and mutual respect and rejecting calls for division, fanaticism, religious hatred and racism in various religion and international forums for the good and happiness of the humanity. Now we shall go for a short commercial break.
The 16th branch of Megamart and Macromart supermarkets in Bahrain has opened in Sahala. The best offers are available to the customers at affordable rates. Everyone is welcome. During and around the opening day, a variety of fish including salmon, meat and dairy products, roastery, frozen items, food and non-food items, groceries, fruits and vegetables, electronics, garments and ready-to-eat food items are available to the customers at affordable rates. Hearty welcome to all. Megamart and Macromart, your favorite shopping destination.
Welcome back. Bahrain joins the world in observing World Asthma Day, which falls today. The Health Ministry yesterday affirmed its keenness to organize educational and awareness events to increase awareness of the disease and ways to prevent it through the optimal use of treatment, improve asthma patients' quality of life, and encourage healthy lifestyles to reduce asthma attacks and its complications. The current Umrah season for Muslims traveling to Saudi Arabia from outside the kingdom will end on May 31st. The Ministry of Hajj and Umrah has set Shawwal 30, the current Islamic month that follows the holy month of Ramadan and corresponds to May 31st in the Georgian calendar, as the deadline for overseas Muslims to perform Umrah. The deadline for applying to obtain an Umrah visa for those outside the kingdom is Shawwal 15 in coordination with the Saudi Foreign Ministry. Minister has directed to form an urgent investigation committee headed by the President of the General Authority of Civil Aviation, Saudi Arabia, and members of a number of bodies to find out the reason for the delay and irregularity of some flights for travelers and Umrah performance at King Abdulaziz International Airport in Jeddah during the past few days. The minister directed to investigate what happened, determine culprits, take the necessary regulatory measures and technical treatments to maintain the quality of services being provided for travelers and Umrah performers, and submit results and recommendations by no later than 1 week from this date, he has been announced. The General Authority of Civil Aviation Saudi Arabia has issued an instruction for air carriers regarding the lifting of the travel suspension to the use of national identity cards from the kingdom for citizens of the Gulf Cooperation Council GCC countries. DACA has called on travelers to check the entry requirements of the countries that they want to travel to before traveling. Lifting the suspension of travel with the national identity does not include the family registry card, as it is not considered as a document that can be used for travel. Saudi banks are betting big on the digital future. In the first 3 months of 2022, 13 bank branches and 81 ATMs were closed in a further sign of the growing of digitalization of the sector. This year's decline is a continuation of an earlier trend. The statistics from the central bank shows that the number of bank branches declined by 124.6% of the total between 2017 and 2021. ATMs saw a 10% drop over the same period. However, e-commerce sales using MADA cards rose 14% in the first quarter of this year. The Central Bank of the UAE raised its by 50 basis points to 2.25% effective from Thursday. 12 major central banks of emerging and developed markets raised interest rates in 2021 and initiated the same practice this year to contain inflation, which surged to multi-decade highs in the US and other major economies of the world. The interest rate hike will be reflected in equated monthly installments, EMIs on home, vehicle and other personal and corporate loans. Consumers will have to pay higher EMIs as higher rates will make it more expensive to buy a home or car or carry a credit card balance. A fine of OMR 100 will be imposed on anyone who disposes of waste in unspecified locations, and in case of repetition, the fine shall be doubled. The violator shall be given a grace period for 1 day to transport the waste to the places designated for it, Oman has announced. WhatsApp is finally rolling out the reactions feature to its users. The announcement comes almost 2 weeks after the Meta-owned application announced the feature. The latest rollout will be for all users. The reactions feature was one of the announcements made last month. This feature will make it easier for users to react to single messages. The reactions feature will work in a way similar to how it works on Facebook and Instagram. Here is how you will be able to use this new WhatsApp reactions feature. WhatsApp is finally rolling out the reactions feature to its users. The announcement comes almost 2 weeks after the Meta-owned application announced the feature. The latest rollouts will be for all users, and that will help you to how to use the feature. The first step is open any chat you want to react to, press hold and the message that you want to react to. As soon as you do that, a pop-up with 6 different emojis will show up. You just have to drag your thumb or finger to the desired emoji and just leave it. Soon you will see the reactions under that particular message. It has been announced. With this, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Lab English at 7:30 p.m. Thank you so much for watching. Signing off by Shana Sultana. Good night.